was completed on March 10th. Right now, I'd like to open it up to the public, so if anyone from the public would like to address the board, now's your time. Anyone have anything to say? Or if you're just here to listen, that's fine. Anybody? Okay, so we have had a couple, let's see, there was a lot. Why don't you summarize? We had a couple there's a lawsuit, and there were a couple lawsuits that were settled through mediation, and,
Sure.
We finally got the transcript last week, and so based on that transcript, we scheduled a special meeting so we can vote on whether we're going to accept or not accept the court order of mediation.
Yes, we had, prior to the mediation, there were 3 lawsuits that were pending. The primary lawsuit that was pending was the petition that we had filed to remove Mr. Lawson for cause based on a private investigative report that found that he and Mr. Dare had created a hostile work environment. Following the filing of that lawsuit, Union Township filed what we believe was a retaliatory lawsuit against the supervisors who voted in favor of removing Mr. Lawson and Mr. Kovach individually. Their lawsuit had several counts in it, including an attachment of Mr. Kovach's letter. But one of the counts in that lawsuit dealt with allegations that we were resisting the completion of the Finleyville-El Rama Road project. Since that was a lawsuit filed against the supervisors, our insurance was applicable, and they retained the law firm of Thomas and Hafer and Suzanne Merrick to defend us in that lawsuit, and we have been collaborating with her in the defense of that lawsuit as well. The third lawsuit that was filed was our lawsuit when we sent Union Township our developers agreement to telling them the terms under which we would allow the sewage from that project to enter into our system. Their engineers essentially wrote back a letter to us saying, thank you, but we don't need you at PCSA to inspect the project. We're going to do the entire project, and you're going to bill us in bulk, and this is the way it's going to be. So we filed an injunction lawsuit against Union Township to enjoin them from proceeding with the project until they entered into an agreement with us where we were the authority and we billed the customer, and the agreement allowed us to inspect the lines and make sure the lines were constructed in accordance with our standards.
Okay, may I interrupt you for a second?
Sure.
So that was in the November 21 timeframe. Prior to that, on I believe August 4th, Union Township had a workshop with the residents of Finley-El Rama Road project, and laid out, described how the project was going to be funded and managed, etc. That was actually right after a meeting, a letter that, I think it's the September 28th letter that we had sent to Union Township to tell them of our expectations for how to go create this development in terms of who would be responsible for what. So I actually was at the October 4th workshop, and I was pleasantly surprised because what was presented at the October 4th workshop was spot on with our September 28th letter of sort of who would own what, who would be responsible for what, who would pay for what, etc. In fact, I came back and reported in our October meeting that, hey, this is great, Union Township read our letter and they're complying with it. Only did about 3 weeks after that to get a letter of which you spoke from Union Township that responded to our September 28th letter that basically changed their mind, went up about 180-degree turn on what they had informed the Union Township residents at the October 4th meeting in terms of what the project would be, who would be responsible for, etc. So based on that letter, that formal letter that we got from Union Township, that's when we started the injunction. Is that correct?
Right.